Anya here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are making a Christmas tree. Well, actually it's a 3D Christmas tree. It's a Christmas tree that you can make this year and you will have it for many years to come as a complement to all your Christmas decorations. Now, I had seen something like this online and I realized how they made it, but I wanted to make one so you could make it to any size. You know how I like to adapt certain patterns to make sure that we don't have the problem of having to restart and because it wasn't long enough, or having to make several parts to then add to each other. So I've come up with a way of making the string of pine lobes that you can make it as long as you want to, or as long as you need to, obviously, for your cone. So here I have made a medium size. You can make smaller, larger, any size you want with this type of construction. So let's get started. So for this project you will need some polystyrene cones. Now it doesn't have to be polystyrene, you could make a cardboard cone if that is within your capabilities, but I thought it would be the quickest and the easiest just to buy a polystyrene cone. I got mine from Amazon. I will link the product down below. It's a sort of a variety pack with 3 different sizes. So if you go to the product description on my Amazon shop, you will see all the dimensions there. And then if you click through, you will see it in your own Amazon shop, I am sure, in your own country. So these are the ones that I am using. Obviously, I am also going to be using some cotton, 100% cotton, king coal, cotton soft in the color fern. I am using my 3.5 hook to make the pine lobes, and I am going to be using my hot glue gun as well. So we're going to get started by making our slip knot. Voila, you insert your hook and you're going to make 2 chains. So let's make 1 chain and then the next one. Now we're going to yarn over and you go into the first chain, try to pick up 2 strands on the back there. You pull up a loop, and with this loop here, so we're disregarding these 2 loops, with this loop we're now going to make a chain. So you yarn over and you chain through the first loop. There we go. So we have made a chain. So this is part of what we call a foundation double crochet. So the foundation is the chain part. We need to make this one, so into this stitch we can locate the next stitch. So make yourself familiar with how this little stitch looks, because this is where we're going to go back in the next time. Okay, so keep an eye on that little stitch. Then you yarn over, and now we're going to use these 3 loops for our double crochet. So first of all, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and we've made our double crochet. Okay, so now you yarn over for your double crochet. Then we are going to go and find that little chain that we did earlier, and this is what it looks like here. This is 1 strand of the V, and this is the 2nd strand of the V. Now I missed it because I was looking in the viewfinder. Let me show you again. And it's a little bit fiddly, of course, to get started like this, but it'll get a little bit easier. There we go. Okay, so I have picked up those 2 strands there. There is a 3rd strand around here somewhere which you don't pick up. Okay, so you pull up a loop. Now with this loop we're going to make a chain. Don't get the other loops involved. There we go. So we've made our chain. Now we yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So now we keep on doing the same thing. You yarn over, you tilt the work towards you. Can you see the 2 strands of the V here?
These are the ones that we're going to be picking up. There we go. And you pull up a loop. And with that loop, you're first of all going to make a chain. And then you finish doing your double crochet. So yarn over into that V. Make sure you pick up all the strands of your yarn. Do your little foundation chain, and then we make our double crochet. Now for each little lobe in our tree, we need 3 foundation double crochets, and of course here I now have done more than that, so let's see how many we've done. So this one is just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I've done 2 sets of double crochets. Now the thing is, you can do however many sets you want. You can do about 15 foundation double crochets, or you can do 30. Then once you feel you've had enough of doing foundation double crochets, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. You turn your work, you count back 3 double crochets, you go in between here and you do a slip stitch. Voila. Then you do 1, 2, 3, and you go to the end here. Of course, you just find somewhere to go into, but normally you would be going in between, you know, the 3rd and the 4th double crochet. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then somewhere here you go in and you do a slip stitch to anchor the little loop. Okay, and now we're ready to make the lobe. So there are 4 sizes of lobes, and you're going to start with the smallest one. So let's show you how to do the small ones. So you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, then you turn, and you're going to be working around the chain here. Okay, so you're going to place 1 half double crochet around that chain. Then you're going to do 3 chains, a slip stitch into that very fast chain there, and you do a picot like that. Then you're going to do a half double crochet and 2 chains, 1, 2. And then you go around the chain again and you do a slip stitch to anchor your little lobe. So this is a small lobe. So let's do another one. So you go to the next loop, make a slip stitch, then you do 1, 2 chains, you yarn over around the chain space there to do a half double crochet. Voila. Make sure you move it sort of across a bit, like so. Then you do 1, 2, 3 chains. You make a picot by going into the first chain, making a slip stitch. There we go. Then we do a half double crochet and 1, 2 chains, and we connect it around the chain space again. So now, of course, we've used up all our foundation double crochets, and now we need to start making more again. So same thing again, yarn over, you find the V at the base here at the end to go under. You do a pull up. With that pull up you create a chain, and then you're ready to do the double crochet. And you need to do these in lots of 3 because you need 3 per lobe. So I would suggest, and this is what I did, I just kept making them until I was fed up with making these. And then I did my chains and I came back and made my lobes. And I just sat there doing that. Sometimes I did even just the one and went back and did my lobe. Sometimes I did a whole lot and then did a whole lot of chains and then did a whole lot of lobes. And that way it made this project quite interesting. And also after a while, when I had quite a lot of lobes, I was just trying it onto the cones already to see how much more I had to make. And this way, of course, you can adjust this project to your cones, because I cannot know how big your cones are. You could possibly make cones from a cardboard, paper, whatever, and then they will be a completely different size. So to be able to adjust the actual thing that we're making here, the lobes, the length of our pine lobes to our cone is the secret here, because you can do as many as you want, and you can make it as big as you need it to be. So I've now done a number of foundation double crochets, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. Okay, so I just need to do another one, so I have all sets of 3. So let me do that one. So now, of course, we're going to start chaining 1 2 and 3. You turn and you count 1 2 3, and in here we're going to do our slip stitch. 1 2 3, skip 3 stitches and you do a slip stitch. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, skipped and do a slip stitch there. Okay, so that is our setup for the next size of lobes, and these ones are the medium ones. And so we're going to chain 2, 1 2, you turn, and now you're going to do 2 double crochets together. So you yarn over, go around the chain there, do half a double crochet, so that means you yarn over, pull through 2, and then you start your next one. So we've done our 2 half finished double crochets, you yarn over and you pull through the 3 loops on your hook. Then you make a picot, 1 2 and 3, go back to the first chain, do a slip stitch, and now we're going to do another 2 double crochets together. You finish this one and then you chain 2, and you're going to link it with a slip stitch around the chain. There we go. And as you can see, this lobe is smaller than this one. Okay. So now let's make a large lobe. So I'm going to go into the next chain space and do a slip stitch. For a large lobe, we're going to chain 3, 1 2 and 3, and now we're going to do 2 treble crochets together. So a treble crochet is yarn over twice, you go into the chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, then yarn over twice, and then we do all our pull throughs apart from the last one, and then you yarn over and you pull through the 3 loops on your hook. 1 2 3 and 4 chains this time for our picot. So you go into the first chain and then you do a slip stitch, and then you yarn over twice to get started on doing 2 trebles together. And now you yarn over and pull through the 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going to 1 2 3 chains, and you go back to your chain there and you slip stitch. So this is a large lobe, medium and small. So as you can see, they are growing in size. So now let me show you how to do the extra large. So we go and find the chain space to work around. Go into it, do your slip stitch. This time we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we're going to do 3 double treble crochets. So that means you yarn over once, twice, 3 times. You go into your loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Stop there and we start a new one. 1, 2, 3, into the loop here, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, 1, 2, 3, around the chain, and you do your pull throughs. And now you have 4 loops on your hook. You yarn over and you pull through all the 4 loops. Then we are going to do 1, 2, 3 and 4 chains. Then you go into your first chain, pull up a loop and pull the loop through the loop on your hook, making a picot. 1, 2, 3, and you go and place 3 treble crochets together around that 1, chain space. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Voila, so I've done my 3 double trebles. Yarn over, pull through the 4 loops on your hook, and then 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you go and do a slip stitch around your chain space. So these are the different lobes that you will be making throughout this project, but of course each time you need to make your foundation double crochets first, then you come back with your loops and then you place your lobes. Now throughout your string of pine lobes, you're going to have to make a number of each of the sizes. So I would say first of all start by making 15 of the small ones. Then once you've done your 15, you're going to be making 20 of the medium ones. Then you make, for example, 25 of the large ones, and then you just make the extra large ones until you have enough for your tree. So you end with doing your largest lobes, you start with the smaller ones. So here I have now rolled around my string of pine lobes until my whole cone is covered, and you can just move them about a bit so you know that you have made a long enough string. So if I undo this now, look, to show you. So first of all I started here by making the small ones. Then I started making the medium ones, and then slowly here somewhere I started making the large ones, and then after a little while here I have now got the extra large ones, and these are the ones that I just kept on making until I filled my cone. And of course there are different sizes of cones, so get the cone that you want to use. And the way you then measure if this is long enough, you have to start from the base. This is also how we're going to have to attach it. You have to start from the base and you work your way going, obviously you go up the cone, and you're going to sort of place the double crochets that we did in a spiral. So here is that previous row, here is the next row. So you're going to place the double crochets in a spiral going up your cone to see if you can fill the cone. Now, of course, the cone is white and the pine is green, so you might see here and there some white peeping through. So you've got to make sure it's nicely covered. So here, of course, I have a problem. So do I press this down a bit? There we go, and then bring everything down. Voila. So of course you can roll this around, you know, sort of much denser than what I am doing. But yeah, you know, you have to make sure that you cover your cone and that you don't see any white anymore, and that it's, you know, sort of voluminous enough to, you know, to look nice when you have it on display, of course. There we go. And so then here I would just slightly twist it so I get a little bit more fabric here. There we go. So that's our tree. So now, of course, I need to do this again while I am attaching it. And what else am I going to attach it with then? You've guessed it. A little bit off the edge of your cone, just about like a double crochet height. Okay, we're going to put some hot glue there, tiny bit, and press this into there. So once you've got your first one down, I suppose you can go up a little bit, just making sure that your lobes are covering that first sort of part of your cone, like so. So that if you look at it, you can't see the white. So try and do this sort of like nearly as high as you possibly can, because, you know, otherwise you might run out at the end. So another bit of glue there. So now we're just going to go on the same level and make it all the way up to here again, and then here we're just going to put this double crochet right on top of that double crochet there. So let's put a little bit of glue, a little dab. So you're going to continue like this. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you will try and make a 3D Christmas tree. They are perfect for decoration, and you can bring them out each year again and again. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!